Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Let's talk about tonight's episode of NXT. I'm going to be real honest with you about a couple of thoughts. First and foremost, I gotta say, I had a good, hearty laugh in the early part of the show as Lola Vice defeated Izzy Dame. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to make you guys laugh for a little bit. A lot of times, for those of you who are on YouTube or social media a lot, you've probably seen YouTube channels and community posts showcase a lot of the female wrestlers of NXT and WWE's Raw and SmackDown, as well as AEW. However, they showcase them in a way more so for guys to like. I don't mean that in a bad, lustful manner, but there are a lot of YouTube community posts that showcase some of the best picks of the week of female wrestlers. I remember one day I was passing through YouTube and saw that someone created a post for Izzy Dame. And it got a lot of likes because obviously, to many, Izzy Dame, like many of the female wrestlers of WWE, are very attractive. However, because Izzy Dame betrayed Tatum Paxley, you will never see me like a post by anyone, and that includes Izzy Dame, because Izzy is evil. But speaking of someone that many wrestling fans like, Lola Vice, who is well liked, especially by male wrestlers. I don't mean that in a bad, sinful manner, but Lola Vice was very successful tonight against the evil traitor known as Izzy Dame. Unfortunately, someone else who is physically liked by fans but not morally, Kalani Jordan, who is booed out of the building now, attacked Lola Vice. So we're going to get a Lola and Kalani angle going on, and I think that's going to be good. My only question is, where is Jada in all of this? Jada also helped throw her out. We also had Tatum Paxley chase one of the members of the culling out of the arena, which I found very hilarious. Tatum looked like a female horror. You know what? That gives me an idea. We've never had not that I know of, but it's not often that you have a female star as the main horror character. Tatum Paxley, Chainsaw Tatum. No, 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 no. Chainsaw Paxley. Chainsaw Girl. Chainsaw Woman. I don't know, folks. Might be interesting, but her chasing one of the members of the culling out of the arena with a chainsaw was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. However, we did find out Obafemi and Leon Slater had a confrontation, I believe, at New Year's Evil. Obafemi wins. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be excellent because Leon Slater is an amazing athlete, but Obafemi is the ruler and one of my favorite NXT wrestlers right now, and he shall continue to rule. We have Javon Evans and Ricky Saints. Let me tell you something. Javon Evans went crazy on the mic. He dropped fiery facts as well as saying, hey, look at me. I have enough to say that I was at John Cena's last show, Saturday night's main event. I'm being talked about as a free agent for Raw and SmackDown. When the conversation for Survivors for Saturday night's main event came up, you were nowhere to be found. As a matter of fact, you were not even in the conversation. Javon Evans destroyed Ricky Saints. Moving forward, and if anybody knows something about destroying people on the mic, it's John Cena right there. Moving forward, tonight's main event. I'm sorry, I'm usually early, But I don't know if any of you experienced this, but I was watching CW and the commercials lasted literally 20 minutes. So I got an hour and about 40 minutes of the show, and then there were a lot of technical difficulties on the CW network. I don't know what that was. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but I did on my end, which is why this is being put out a lot later than usual. Just thought you should know that. But tonight's main event was a nice match between Sol Roca and the women's North American champion, no, the women's US champion known as Chelsea Green. The women's North American champion is Thea Hale, who had a brawl, a school fight rather, with Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May. And speaking of which, of the women, I want to point something out. Tonight we had a mixed tag team match between the LFG winners, Skylar Gray and Shiloh Hill against Stax and Santino's daughter, Ariana Grace. By the way, I gotta get this off my chest. In 2025, if there is one thing I know about 2025, is that you had to wear a cup this year. You just had to wear a cup. John Cena, in the most, first of all, John Cena paved the way for this mess. John Cena, heel turn, Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes needs a cup. Then you have Liv Morgan. She copycats John Cena, hugs John Cena, kicks Cena in the C Nation, kicks John Cena right in the chain gang. Then you have Ariana Grace, who hugs her father and kicks him low. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, by the way, when Blake Monroe was in AEW earlier this year, she kicked Tony Storm's manager right below the belt. You just had to wear a cup this year. This year, everyone wore a cup to be a wrestler because you just never know. And Ariana Grace just proved that. By the way, that was halfway made famous by Eve Torres, WrestleMania 28, but you gotta wear a cup to be here. You just gotta. This is just. Moving forward, but they got theirs in the Christmas Chaos match, and thankfully Shiloh and the gang won. Tonight's episode of NXT, we saw Chelsea Green, thanks to help from the Secret Harvest, she would retain her championship, and Zarya got mad and attacked everyone, and Sol Roca went for a double soul snatcher after having a pretty good match in the main event. Now, eventually, and I wish I was wrong, but eventually, Zarya is going to turn on Sol Roca because no relationship lasts in professional wrestling. But if we get past the whole year without Zarya, the rest of this year without Zarya turning on Sol, I will be a very happy person. In the meantime, I'm your host, Dan Cody. That's all time I have for you today, and I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. And very soon, I will be giving you my top 10 matches, no, top 15 matches of 2025 in WWE. So until next time, I'm your host, Dan Cody, and I will see you guys next time.